Hello, my dear ones. I hope this finds you well or getting well. And I just met some people from Europe. A young lady, I've known her for a few years. She's now carrying one here, and it's going to be a healthy little fella. Yeah, that's exciting. They want to tell me that this wish you all a Merry Christmas. Wait a minute, we just passed Thanksgiving. I know, and it's crazy, and it's like the years they go around like nobody's business. Did you guys catching the Blind Frog Ranch and Skinwalker? I mean, that's right there. I think that that whole what do they call that? That it's like a mountain cut off. That's a big center in there for UFOs and everything else. They've got them recorded going into it. It's like, wow. So this is getting really good out there. And the next one on Blind Frog Ranch, that's going to be cool as all get out, man. I think they find some of the Aztec gold. I don't know. I was thinking, there's an old saying out there. You either live to eat or you eat to live. And this is about how it is out there. So you have to realize that when it comes to the human is a frugivore. There's no denying it. You can eat meat, you can eat whatever you want. But there's always a price to pay, cause and effect. Vibrationally, chemically, in at least those two ways, you're going to see the kickback. But anyway, I want to wish you all a good Christmas, a good holiday. We've got it's almost December 1st. It's like, holy crap. I was up all night last night because I talked to Patty probably for a couple of hours or more and about the fruit book and also about the lymphatic book. And so there's 19 chapters in the fruit book, and it's getting good. I had a lot of questions for her last night. Because when you think about the conversion of glucose to fructose, right? When your diet doesn't have adequate fructose, then your body has to convert. And that's what Yale found, right? So what's all the chemical processes? And even though we're talking about sugars to sugars, what are you seeing in terms of byproducts being released and energetic losses and things like that in the movement of one sugar to another, even though we're dealing in the ATP factors and the energetic factors? And there's so many questions out there with that. So anyway, there's 19 chapters to the fruit. Man is a fruit and berry eater book. And they're pretty detailed chapters. So it's exciting. It's really getting in. She's getting into the bicarbonate. I want her to go the bicarbonate route and the HCl route. That's the hydrochloric acid route. Because we have comparative anatomy books on gut, endocrinology, you name it. And it's just a really good look into the fact that the human is a frugivore, like it or not. And look at what happens when you go on a good fruit diet. The problem is good fruit. If you could sit down to a table with nothing but organic, tree-ripe fruit, your mouth would be watering as you're sitting down there. But that also reminds me you can't combine too many foods together at the same meal. You're healthier and feel better both emotionally and definitely mentally when you mono or you close to mono eating. Very important to not combine too many things. And I used to push when I was a young naturopath, I used to push the rainbow salad. All the colors of nature in there and, for vibrationally hitting all the body parts and all the cells and things like that we have no clue about. But also, as I dug deeper into that, realizing that it could bring confusion for those that are more sensitive to energies, frequencies, your auric readers, things like that, you got to be careful with energy like that. And so I'm one of those that are real sensitive to energies. Oh, God. So anyway, the school, Megan was just telling me, the school is offering 10% for any class that you like. In terms of my classes, I don't know about Pat's or the other ones, but Hopefully this year we're going to see some new online classes. I got professors making them, but we haven't heard yet where they're at on them. So I've got about 3 or 4 professors out there, and I'm trying to get Flower Essences lady to come. Please, please, please. Just take a little time from goat loving and come over and do just a little video on the importance of flower essences. I can't even tell you the importance. I told you I've used them in emergency situations with incredible results. And for the psychiatrists and mental health practitioners, flower essences is beyond anything you can imagine to help your patients emotionally and mentally. And I gave you that case where I was working with a mental health clinic down in Naples, and this girl came in. She was raped by her father. She was hysterical. Moonshine Yarrow. I was seeing the psychiatrist there. She had problems with some things, and I was fixing her up, and I had her on some Moonshine Yarrow. And I've always said, you're in the field that you're in generally for yourself first. But that girl just settled right down, and it just took that all of that out of her, and she was able to deal with the situation. And so it was incredible. I remember I said I sent a whole bunch of Moonshine Yarrow and emergency relief to the Oklahoma bombing. Tremendous results, I heard. It's not easy when you're a paramedic and you're not used to seeing body parts, Trauma. But if you take all 3 classes, you get 20% off. So that's a little thing that the school is setting up for you, my classes. Anyway, I'm able to deal with my classes. But I want you all to have a good Christmas. You're going to eat and have fun the way you do. So for those that go totally bonkers, after Christmas, get back on it, and just you want to. For those that have already gone as deep as they want to go, find your balance, and I'm sure you already are, but your balance should be at least 80% raw. All lifestyles should at least be 80% raw, because I don't know how you maintain health when you slip down from that too far. Because now you're into the electron-rich foods, the electrical foods, you're into hydration foods, you're into the foods that rebuild tissue, that genetically remember cells, you're into the nature's foods for the Homo sapien. Right? So it's interesting when you can go back and use foods, but I also love the botanicals. My botanical formulas, I love them. Western is just selling them. But they're incredible formulas, and they are excellent at helping rebuild things. It's particularly your liver, gallbladders, your blood. Formulas like that are to refurbish and rebuild tissues. You've got your lymphatic formulas, but those are more for fluids. And of course, lymphatic also requires hydration. You can't just astringe the lymphatic system. You have to hydrate. And hydration is an electrical side of life, right? It's an alkaline side of life. You can't hydrate eating acids or acid-ash foods. And that's the problem. So we're going to address a lot of these in the next coming books here in terms of the frugivore book, but also the lymphatic book. We've got a lot to address with that. And then the third book out is the naturopathic science versus allopathic theories. We're going to show you, and of course, Patty's been to osteopathic school, so she's firsthand experience. I'm 50 years naturopath, firsthand experience with naturopathy. So we're going to show you the differences in a book. And it can be quite alarming when you see some facts out there that maybe you don't want to hear. The death rate is alarming when it comes to allopathy. Alarming. And nobody seems to look at it or care. They think that that group is out there trying to save the world, and I don't know how, or how you can put that out there when you use toxic drugs and you use acids to put into the blood systems and stuff like that. It just doesn't fare well on the humans, let's say. So I love you guys. Remember, if you get one class, you get 10%. If you take all three, which is level 1, 2 in iridology. Have you guys seen the 4.5 hours? Is that what it ended up being? Video yet on the iris? I'm still saving more pictures, of course. I always will, because we're going to get into other factors, and especially like connective tissue factors, how it changes the whole shape of the eye itself. All types of factors I'd like to get in a little deeper. I'm also getting ready to do a video for level 1 and level 2. I just want to sit down with you on video and talk with you. How you been doing? You know, after you finish the class, what did you do? Have you tried to help others? Have you helped yourself? Do you understand why and the two sides of chemistry? And how important just that understanding is. Every child should be taught this. Every kindergartner should be taught this. And there's plenty of props that you can use to drive it home. Whenever you're talking about acid and base, remember temperatures are pH regulated too. So there's so many ways you can teach chemistry and teach the fundamentals of life. And you have to go back to that, because I was telling Pat, you know, chemistry, and she's a biochemist, I'm a biochemist, tainted. I mean, when you start out with the wrong foot, everything else goes wrong. And remember, I was talking to you, and Pat and I were talking about this last night about the chemist, and I never knew how bad it was until this chemist from this huge corporation came in, thought he was in a state of alkalosis. And I said, how do you derive that you're in a state of alkalosis if you understand metabolism and all that? I don't get that. Too much protein, and we were discussing this last night as well. You know, you've got two things that man does that's kicking him. Too much acid, too much alkali. All right? So what form does the acid come in? Proteins. All right? What forms do the alkalis come in? Starch. So man is eating on both ends of the pH scale. Both sides will burn you, but you're talking about an acid side that actually can turn into ammonia, the alkaline side. So you really, you have to understand that man is complexing the situation by eating the complex foods. You have to break down and away from that and start eating foods in its more simple forms, which is your fruits, your berries, your melons, and then a little more complicated would be your vegetables. But a lot less complicated than your meats and your beans and your grains. And the electrical differences and everything else, you can't even, there's no comparison. So keep yourself on the electrical side as much as possible, but have fun for Christmas, you know. I'll be doing a bunch of videos from here to Christmas, but today, it's cold down here. I'm sorry, I kind of ran in real quick because I've got a dump truck and a tractor, and we're loading up fence, and we're doing all kinds of things. And I've been out working early this morning, and so I just ran in to say I love you guys. Hi. The school is going to offer you some discounts there, and have fun. Have some fun. You know what? Doesn't matter what's going on. You're the power. You're the one. The buck stops where? Oh, with yourself. Absolutely. So if you don't like your world, you're the only one that can change it. You know what? And we're here to help you change it. So anything you need, let us know. We're here to help you. If you get stuck in detox or something like that, all you students, you got my love, baby. I'm telling you something. I was out there alone. You got all the help in the world.